this is Linda Beatty from Linda Beatty's Life Coaching and Counseling, and I want to talk to you today about one of the three important components to healing and trauma, and that is physical healing. Now, we talk about physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual healing, but today we're going to focus on just the physical. So there's four components for this video that I want to go over, and that is rest, nutrition, exercise, and physical touch. So the first one we're going to talk about is rest. Now, in this day of technology, there are actually trackers that will track your sleep. And for a lot of us that have been through trauma, sleep is a hard issue. A lot of us have insomnia, we have night terrors, we have disrupted sleep, all kinds of things. So if you can track your sleep, that's great. If you can't, you've got to make sure that you can get 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. And if you can't, then if you have to break it up because either your insomnia is so bad or you work a night shift or something, if you have to break it up, that's fine, but make sure you combine, get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Everybody's different. Some people can get a little less and some people need a little bit more, but that's the average. Okay, so you want to make sure you're getting rest, especially if you have trauma-related problems with sleep. And the second thing is nutrition. Now, with nutrition and trauma and the healing journey, a lot of us emotionally eat. I had an eating disorder for many years. And so I know all about emotional eating to try and deal with the problems that we're suffering from trauma. So if you're emotionally eating, I need you to become aware of it. First thing, just become aware of it. Become aware of it and start tracking it. When you're looking at your nutrition, you want to make sure your macros, your proteins, carbohydrates, and fats are all in the right quantity. I like a high protein, medium carb, low fat diet. A lot of people are different. A lot of people do lower protein, higher carb, lower fat, or higher fat, low carb, high protein. There's all different ways to do it. So if you need more help with that, please contact me and I will get into major detail with that. But the main thing is stay away from a lot of sugar, because sugars will make you up and down. Stay away from the heavy fats because they will weigh you down and make you feel lethargic. So you want to make sure your nutrition is a lifestyle. It's something you can stick with for a long time. And if you have a bad day where you go off or you go to a party or it's the holidays are coming up, so you go off track, the next day you just go back on track and you adjust. You make some adjustments. Like maybe I'll do a little more aerobics the next day, or maybe I'll eat a little less of something in one meal the next day. But I make adjustments so I maintain my weight. I've maintained the same weight for the last 5 years without fluctuating and without dieting because I made it a lifestyle. And that's what I suggest you do. Okay, the third one, exercise, my absolute favorite. This is my super power, my exercise, because it changes your brain chemistry. So it's an antidepressant, it's an anti-anxiety, it helps muscle tone, it helps your energy level, it helps your how you mentally process. It affects everything because you're changing blood flow and blood circulation as well. So my advice to you with exercise is start out slow and stay consistent. I am also a personal trainer, so I can help you with exercise, I can help you with a program, I can help you with the nutrition. All of these things can impact physical health, and I can get into much more detail, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep it relatively simple. Now, the fourth thing is physical touch. Now, I know for trauma victims, when you say physical touch, people want to jump out of their skin, but because trauma a lot of times was physical. And so we may be jumpy when someone touches us we don't know. We may, have a reaction. that normal people may not have. So a lot of us have spouses, we have friends that we hug, we have children that we hug or grandchildren that we hug. And so physical touch is not that big a deal for us because we're getting it on a regular basis. But for those of us that may have been isolated by trauma or don't have a spouse or don't have friends they see on a regular basis, especially with the pandemic, a lot of people are struggling to not have that physical touch. So I'm going to give you a couple little tricks and tips that may sound super duper silly, but try them anyhow, just for the heck of it. The first one is hug yourself. Just close your eyes and hug yourself. Picture someone you love hugging you. I picture the Lord hugging me. Whoever brings you comfort, you can picture that. But give yourself some physical touch. The other thing I do is I have what's called a Theracane. I have some back issues, so I take my Theracane and I actually will give myself a massage. When my back's bothering me or I'm feeling a little stressed, I'll start giving myself a massage with the Theracane. Probably should have brought it down for the purposes, but if you contact me, I will send you a picture of it and where to get it. The third thing you can do is find an animal that you can pet, that you can touch. If you have a friend that has animals, if you have one of your own, use that animal as a source of affection. Go to the park and feed the ducks. Yes, you can't touch them, but just that connection can give you that same sense. There is some kind of chemical we release when we're touching that also uplifts us. So that is why people that don't get it crave it so much or miss it so much. And now another one that's going to sound silly, and this is just one I created. I don't know how accurately it works as far as the three other things we just talked about, but it is just putting your hand up to the screen and asking the other person put their hand up to the screen and going like that on the screen and letting someone physically touch you and maybe just say a word, maybe say a prayer together, and just get that connection that maybe you're not getting elsewhere. I know it sounds silly, but we're in times that are unprecedented and we've never gone through anything like this. So a lot of folks are isolated, and especially trauma victims can feel isolated and depressed or anxious. And so these little tips and tricks are just a way of making yourself feel better, of a way of connecting, a way of really reaching out to yourself. Another thing you might want to look into is trigger points. Trigger points are a great way to release body chemistry. There are trigger points in your body that if you touch those certain points, it actually affects other parts of your body. So research these things, look them up, go into more detail. If you want to know more about any of the 4 things we talked about, I can give you much more detail, but for the time span of this video, we can't go into any more detail. So contact me, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, subscribe below, leave me comments, and I am so accessible. I'm not going to stop the video for that. Remember, mistakes, we just push through them and we learn from them. Okay? So contact me and I will get to you that same day, or if not that day, the next day. But I will contact you. Anybody that contacts me, I contact them back. So reach out. Until next time, this is Linda Vitti at Linda Vitti's Life Coaching. God bless.